group 2 elements. As earlier we completed the group 1 elements like lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium and francium. Further it's now we will study the group 2 elements. First of all we will take the general properties of group 2 elements. First of all, atomic radii. So now atomic radii, they have some value of atomic radii. Now downward the group, the size of the atom will increase, so atomic radii will also increase. Whereas if we compare this group with this adjacent group like group 1 or group 3, so the atomic radii of group 2 elements will be smaller than group 1 elements due to increase in the nuclear charge and addition of the electron to the same subshell. Whereas they will be group 2 elements are larger than the group 3 elements. Why? Because group 3 elements have more increased nuclear charge. Further, next are the different physical properties like density, melting point, boiling point, ionization, enthalpy. Similarly, the ionization value of ionization enthalpy, the alkaline earth metals have low ionization enthalpy due to fairly large size of the atoms. Since the atomic size increases down the group, the ionization enthalpy decreases. So similar trend for ionization enthalpy also observed as in case of group 1 element, that is downward the group value of ionization energy decreases. So a comparison of ionization enthalpies of members of group 1 and 2 shows that members present in the second group have higher values as compared to those of the group 1 because they have smaller size and electrons are more attracted toward the nucleus. So if we compare the ionization energy of group 1 and group 2 elements, we will find that if we compare it, we will find that the group 1 and 2, that the members present in the second group have higher values. Members of second group have higher value of the ionization energy as compared to group 1 elements. Why? Because group 2 elements are comparatively smaller in size as compared to group 1 element. Further, they have electronic configuration of ns2. That means if we will take beryllium, it is 1s2 2s2. Similarly, if we will take magnesium, then it is 1s2 2s2 2p6 3s2. So these are the values of the higher ionization energy of group 2 elements because they have filled s subshell. Further, if we compare the successive ionization energy, that is IE1 or IE2, that is IE1, IE2. If you remember that IE1 is the for removal of the one electron from the outermost shell. That is, if we remove one electron from beryllium, then it will become 1s2 2s1 because the last fourth electron is lost in IE1. If we talk about IE2, it means that it is second electron also lost, then remaining electronic configuration is 1s2. So these elements will have higher value of IE2 as compared to group 1 elements. Why? Because they have fully filled they have higher value of IE1 because they have fully filled outermost subshell, but the value of IE2 will be smaller. Why? Because after IE1 the electronic configuration for beryllium will be 1s2 2s1. Similarly, for any other alkaline earth metal, it will be ns1 after IE1. Now this one electron is also lost easily because after losing this electron, the alkaline earth metal will gain the electronic configuration of noble gas. For beryllium, this is the for IE1, that is after IE1 one electron is remained, and after IE2 it is converted into 1s2. So this is the 1s2. So this is the difference. In case of alkali metals, the second electron is to be removed from a cation which has already acquired a noble gas configuration. So if we compare them with the alkali metals, like alkali metal, for example sodium, we will take the example of sodium. Sodium electronic configuration of 1s2 2s2 2p6 and 3s1, whereas magnesium has electronic configuration of 1s2 2s2 2p6 3s2. So after losing one electron, that is after IE1, the electronic configuration of sodium becomes 1s2 2s2 2p6. That is when sodium is converted into sodium positive. So its IE2 will be quite higher. Why? Because it has already attained the noble gas configuration, that is of noble gas configuration of neon. Whereas in case of magnesium, first of all it will not lose electron easily because it has fully filled s subshell, that is IE1 value will be higher as compared to sodium. But after losing one electron, IE2 value will be smaller for the magnesium as compared to sodium. Why? Because IE2 will easily lose the second, magnesium will easily lose the second electron with IE2, and it will be get converted into noble gas, that is neon. So in case of alkali metal, the second electron is to be removed. So removed from the cation which has already acquired a noble gas configuration. So this is the reason behind the higher value of IE2 of alkali earth metal. So you may be asked in exam, why alkaline earth metals have lower value of IE2 as compared to alkali metals. So this question can be asked in 2 or 3 more ways, like why alkali metals have lower value of IE1 as compared to alkali metal. So basically you must know that what is the electron configuration after IE1 and IE2. Then you can answer any of question like this type of question. Next is the electropositive or metallic character. Electropositive or metallic character. So electropositive or metallic character means because of the low ionization enthalpies of alkaline earth metal, they are strongly electropositive in nature. However, these are not as strongly electropositive as the alkali metals of group 1 because of comparatively higher ionization enthalpies. The electropositive character increases down the group from beryllium to increases down the group beryllium to barium. So they easily release the electron. Further, they also give characteristic flame coloration except beryllium and magnesium. Like we are talking about different alkali metals about flame coloration. Similarly, alkaline earth metal also give flame coloration except beryllium and magnesium. So you may be asked in the exam, why does beryllium and magnesium doesn't give flame coloration whereas other alkaline earth metals give flame coloration? This question can be asked in multiple ways. So the basic reason, what is the basic reason behind this? The alkaline earth metals gives characteristic flame colors because their ionization enthalpies are low, similar to alkali metal. Alkali metals also have low ionization energy. Similarly, alkaline earth metals also have low ionization energy. Therefore, the valence electron in these atoms can be easily excited to higher energy states by the energy of flame of Bunsen burner. When these excited electrons come back to ground state, they emit radiation which fall in the visible region. Therefore, they give colors to the flame. On the other hand, beryllium and magnesium atoms are comparatively smaller and their ionization enthalpies are very high. Hence, the energy of the flame is not sufficient to excite their electrons to higher energy levels. These elements, therefore, do not give any color in the Bunsen flame. So the beryllium and magnesium atoms are comparatively smaller. So small size of beryllium and magnesium as compared to other alkaline earth metals result in their high ionization energy, or their ionization energy enthalpies are very high. So their Bunsen flame is not sufficient to excite their electron to the high energy level. So these elements therefore do not give any color in the Bunsen flame. Next, the tendency to form the bivalent ions. So bivalent ions mean magnesium will form the magnesium 2 positive easily. But means that magnesium will prefer to form magnesium 2 positive as compared to magnesium unipositive, whereas sodium or alkali metals will prefer to form the unipositive ion. So these alkali metals will form unipositive ion easily, whereas alkaline earth metals will form bipositive ions. Why? Because of this reason, that is, by forming unipositive ion, alkali metals are converted into nearest noble gas configuration, whereas this alkaline earth metal loses two electrons easily, so that it can attain the nearest noble gas configuration. So this is the reason why, basically why divalent ions are formed easily from the alkaline earth metals. And there is also another reason, that is in solutions, that is in liquids, the plus 2 ions of alkaline earth metal are extensively hydrated, because size is also an important factor in the formation of ions. As yesterday we studied the formation of lithium positive in a solution. The reason for that was hydration due to small size of lithium. Similarly, these alkaline earth metals also are smaller in size. As you will see the periodic table, their periodic properties, the size of alkaline earth metals is smaller than the alkali metals, so they got easily hydrated. And 2 positive ion is more hydrated as compared to unipositive ion, because more charge on it, it more easily it will be hydrated, or it will react with the polar solvent like water. So it is observed that the amount of energy released when M2 positive ion is dissolved in water is more than that for M positive ion. So amount of energy released for the hydration is more in case of bivalent ion for the alkaline earth metal in compared to the unipositive ion. So this large amount of extra energy released in the hydration of plus 2 ion is more than compensate the second ionization enthalpy required for the formation of such ions. Moreover, in the solid state, the divalent cations form stronger lattice than monovalent cation, and therefore a lot of energy called lattice energy is released. It is a greater lattice energy of M2 positive ion which compensates for the high second ionization enthalpy and is responsible for its greater stability compared to the M positive ion. So next are the chemical properties. Chemical properties of the alkaline earth metals. Chemical properties, first of all, formation of oxides. The alkali earth metals, being less electropositive than alkali metal, react with the air or oxygen slowly upon heating to form the oxide. So whenever you will heat the alkali metal in air, free supply of air, it will form, this triangle represents the heating in any chemical reaction, it will result in the formation of monoxide, that is MO. Further heat will result in the MO2 peroxide. So here M is beryllium, magnesium and calcium, whereas here M is equal to barium or strontium. So it's not so that tough, it's very easy. The reactivity of oxygen increases as we move down the group due to increasing electropositive character of the elements. So whenever we move down the group, there is a reactivity increases. See here, only one oxygen atom is getting attached to the metal atom of barium, magnesium, calcium, whereas here to the one metal atom there is two oxygen atoms attached in case of when metal is barium and strontium. So when we move toward down the group, the reactivity of metal toward oxygen increases. So next are the oxides of the these metals. So oxides, the basic character of oxide increases downward the groups, that is from beryllium to barium. The basic character increases down the group. So basic character increases down the group. So oxides of barium and magnesium are almost insoluble in water, while the oxide of rest of the metals dissolve in water to form the hydroxide. Further is the combination with hydrogen. So these metals also form the hydride. Like when calcium is treated with the hydrogen, it results in the formation of calcium hydride, CaH2. So this is the reaction of hydrogen. Further action with water, formation of hydroxides. The alkali earth metal have less tendency to react with water as compared to alkali metal. They combine with water slowly to form the hydroxides. That is, calcium plus 2H2O will result in the formation upon heating CaOH twice plus H2. Similarly, magnesium will also react in this manner. And like alkali metal, the hydroxide are basic in nature and basic strength increases down the family. The basic character of hydroxides is due to the low ionization enthalpies of these metals. Because of low ionization enthalpy of metal, oxygen bond in MOH is the bond in MOH is MO bond in MOH is weak. That is, this MOH twice. This MO bond is weak. Why? Because the low ionization enthalpy of these metals. So this bond is weak because metal easily loses the electron and it can cleave to give the hydroxyl ion in the solution, that is M positive plus OH negative. So since the ionization enthalpy decreases down the family, therefore the basic strength of hydroxide increases. The hydroxides of alkaline earth metals are less basic than the alkali metal of the corresponding period. So all in all, whenever you are studying the second group, first of all you have to compare group within itself. That is, downward the group you will explain all the properties, what will be the effect of when we will go toward downward the group, or when we will come upside on the group, or what is the correlation with the first group and third group. So you have to compare the second group with the first group and next group, that is third group. Whereas whenever you are studying the first group, first of all, whenever you studying any group, you have to compare their characteristic within the group, like what is the how does the basicity varies in the group, that is beryllium hydroxide, magnesium hydroxide, calcium hydroxide and others. And after that you have to compare those properties with their adjacent group. So that will give you knowledge. Moreover, question will be asked in these two manners, either inside the group or with the comparison with the adjacent group. So whenever you are studying any property, just try to compare the trend, that is what is the trend between the within the group, that is toward downward, what is happening downward the group for that property, and what is and comparison with the adjacent group. So next is the action with the nitrogen and formation of halides. So these are similar to this, so you can go through it. Next is the anomalous behavior of beryllium and magnesium and diagonal relationship. So this is similar to the lithium. As we did yesterday, we compared the properties of lithium with its own group and with the next group, and diagonally present element to the lithium, which was magnesium. Similarly, we will compare the properties of beryllium and magnesium in diagonal way. So these are the different chemical properties of the alkaline earth metals. Now there is a very interesting property, behavior of solutions in the liquid ammonia. That how does these alkali metals dissolve in the liquid ammonia. This is a very important topic, so try to focus it on and try to study it again and again. So behavior of solutions in liquid ammonia. So alkali metal dissolve in liquid ammonia to give blue colored solution. So as we see, when we heated the individual alkali metals, they give the different colors as per the metal in flame color, in flame. That is, whenever we put the different alkali metals on the flame, the different color was seen for every metal. Whereas despite of the metal, any of the metal, all metals give the blue color solution in liquid ammonia. All alkali metal dissolved in liquid ammonia, that is metal plus liquid ammonia, always give blue colored solution. Any of the metal, that is it can be lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, or any of the metal. So alkali metals dissolved in liquid ammonia to give the blue colored solution which are conducting in nature. So moreover, these solutions are conducting in nature. So question comes in our mind, why metal gives all the metals, all the alkali metal, different alkali metals give the similarly blue colored solution, all the metals give blue colored solution when they are dissolved in liquid ammonia. That is individually, if you will dissolve sodium in liquid ammonia, there will be blue colored solution. If you will dissolve lithium or any other metal, there will be blue colored solution. So why this happens and why these solutions are conducting in nature? So we will explain now. The important characteristic of alkali metal solution are, these are blue in color and the color is independent of the metal dissolved. So I told you earlier. Second point is, when the concentration of the metal is increased, the color changes to bronze and shows metallic appearance. So when concentration is increased, when concentration of the metal is increased, metal's concentration is increased, the color of the solution changes to bronze. So there is again why it happens. Third is that these solutions are conducting and show strong reducing properties. So conducting in nature and they show strong reducing properties means they reduces if there is scope of reduction. They have strong reducing properties. These solutions are paramagnetic and paramagnetic character decreases with the increasing concentration. So you know well that there are two type of magnetism, diamagnetic and paramagnetic. So paramagnetic means when unpaired electron is present and any substance having magnetic properties, it will be called as paramagnetic. Whereas when paired electrons are present, that substance will be called diamagnetic. So these solutions are conducting and show strong reducing property. They are paramagnetic and paramagnetic character decreases with increase in the concentration. If the reagents are pure and dry, sodium solution in liquid ammonia are stable and can be preserved for several days. So what happens in liquid ammonia? We will take the example of sodium. In solution, the alkali metal atom readily loses the valence electron, that is sodium readily loses the valence electron, Na positive plus electron, so this is the electron. Further, Na positive plus XNH3, it gives us NaNH3 X, that is ammoniated cation, plus this electron here, this released electron also reacts with the ammonia NH3 and results in the formation of ammoniated electron NH3 negative. Further, M plus X plus Y NH3 gives us MNH3 X positive plus E NH3 negative. So the value of X and Y depend upon the extent of solvation of the alkali metal ion and the electron respectively. So first of all, try to understand this reaction. First of all, what happens? Sodium loses the electron and gets converted into sodium cation plus electron, negatively charged electron, and this forms the ammoniated cation. That is, when sodium reacts with the sorry, I forgot to write here. I wrote this again and again. So this sodium cation reacts with the ammonia and form the ammoniated cation. This is called ammoniated AMMI wrote and cation. This is ammoniated cation. Further, this electron reacts with the ammonia and it's form the ammoniated electron. So there are two entities now, ammoniated cation and ammoniated electron. This is basically a coordination compound. Here value of X and here value is Y. So this is the basically coordination complex. So further metal reacts with the ammonia and results in the formation of ammoniated cation plus ammoniated electron. The value of X and Y depend upon the extent of solution of the alkali metal ion and the electron respectively. The ammoniated electron is responsible for the blue color of the solution. So this ammoniated electron is responsible for the blue color of the solution. Okay, so later I will explain that blue colored this is blue color of the solution is due to ammoniated electron. The electrical conductivity is due to the ammoniated cation as well as ammoniated electron. So electrical conductivity, basically electrical conductivity exists where charged particles are present, whether they are positively charged or negatively charged. So here the product of this reaction is this positively charged ammoniated cation and ammoniated electron. So both are charged. So electrical conductivity can be explained on these two ions. One is cation, ammoniated cation and ammoniated electron. And the paramagnetic nature because of the presence of free electron. These free electrons are present and these are, due to this, they are paramagnetic. Solutions are paramagnetic. Further, now you can see the blue. I already said that is irrespective of the metal, that is whether you are taking lithium, sodium or potassium, the color of the solution is blue. So this is blue color is not due to the metal. This is due to this ammoniated electron released on the reaction. Sorry. So this is the ammoniated electron which result in the blue colored solution of liquid alkali metal in the liquid ammonia. This is blue colored solution. So there is no role of the metal, which is the metal, and there is no role of the metal in the color of the solution. There is role of only this electron. So all the alkali metals, when they are dissolved separately in liquid ammonia, all metals give us blue color. Okay, and what is the reason of conductivity and this paramagnetic nature? Conductivity is due to these charge entities and paramagnetic nature is due to this released electron. So as the concentration of the metal increases, the blue color changes to bronze and finally the blue color disappears altogether. Due to the presence of free ammoniated electron, these solutions behave as strong and valuable, powerful and selective reducing agents. These solutions can reduce aerial oxygen to superoxide and peroxide ion without bond cleavage. So if these solutions are reacted with oxygen, this ammoniated electron reduces oxygen to superoxide ion and later on to the peroxide ion. So reduction means gain of electron. I wrote here plus sign. Plus mean addition of electron or gain of electron. So here there was no charge on the oxygen atom. Here negative charge comes. Why? Because of the addition of the electron. Further there are two negative, that is more electrons are added to it, that is E negative NH3 from Y. So these solution can reduce metal ion to their unusually low oxidation states. So this is the concept of behavior of solutions, behavior of metals in liquid ammonia. So in your book it has been written as behavior, there is misprint, behavior of solutions in liquid ammonia. You have to correct it. In Modern's book there is written solution. Here the word, exact correct word is the metal, particularly alkali metals. So behavior of alkali metals in liquid ammonia. So we explained all the different properties of this liquid ammonia solution on the basis of these metals. Low ionization energy, that is this electron is lost easily, and this electron further form the ammoniated electron and ammoniated cation, and both are, these electron and cation is responsible for the conductivity of the solution, and this ammoniated electron is responsible for the blue color of the solution, and this blue color is same for all the metals in liquid ammonia.